I can assure you that Pass or Refund is the best resource for preparing for IT exams. We refund your money if you do not pass on your first attempt. Let us now jump into some questions to see how prepared you are. Here's a good one. An Alexa skill builder wants to add a short audio clip to a skill using SSML. They record a 6-second audio clip with a high-end microphone and recording application, then export it at 48 kilobits per second. The file is uploaded to a public Amazon S3 bucket. The builder then updates the SSML to return. When testing the skill, Alexa responds with, "There was a problem with the requested skill's response," every time. So, how should the builder fix this? The correct answer is C. The SSML audio tag has some pretty strict requirements for audio files. They need to be in MP3 format, MPEG version 2, have a bit rate of 48 kilobits per second, and a sample rate of 16,000 Hz, or 24,000 too. Now, consider this. Imagine an Alexa builder is making a skill for music streaming. So when someone says, "Alexa, stop," the skill really needs to remember where they were in the song. That way, when they come back to the skill later, it can just pick up right where it left off. Okay, so which part of this JSON here actually holds the data showing where the song stopped? The correct selection is B. Okay, when an Alexa skill gets a request, the payload comes with something called a context object. Next up, which of these are ways a user can interact with an Amazon Alexa skill using both voice and non-voice methods? Choose 3. The right pick is A and B and D. In the context of multimodal Alexa skills, interaction design focuses on giving users flexibility. Okay, let's move on. So, an Alexa skill builder is creating a custom skill, and they need to make sure the right slot values are going into the AWS Lambda function. What's the best and most efficient way to get that information, according to best practices? Going with a AWS Lambda debugging, the native integration with Amazon CloudWatch logs allows the developer to inspect the incoming event, JSON, effortlessly. So, consider this scenario. Here's a question. An Alexa skill builder submitted a child-directed skill for certification, and it lists the nearest skateboard parks. The builder made sure that the skill doesn't link to an external account, it stores the child's preference by user ID, and it has a valid privacy policy link on the skill distribution page. Given all of this, why do you think the skill will fail certification? You should pick B. According to Amazon's policies for child-directed skills, developers must not collect precise geolocation information. Okay, let's tackle this. The namespace value in the header of the incoming directive for an Amazon Alexa smart home skill specifies the Here's the answer. B. In the Alexa smart home skill, API, every directive header contains a namespace field. Next up, according to Amazon Alexa best practices, how should an Alexa skill builder prevent unintentional requests against a skill's backend when using AWS Lambda? You should pick D. So, according to the official Alexa Skills Kit documentation for hosting a custom skill as an AWS Lambda function, you should configure the Alexa Skills Kit trigger with your skill ID. Okay, let's move on. An Alexa skill builder wants to make a skill's help experience better. To do this, the builder plans to use what the user was doing right before they asked for help, so they can make the help response more relevant. So, where should the skill get that needed context from? The correct answer is C. So, to give users help that's always relevant to where they are in the conversation, developers need to track the flow of it manually. Now, consider this. An Alexa skill builder adds a colleague to a skill using the beta test feature. The colleague logs into the developer console to edit the interaction model and can't see the skill. Why is this happening? Here's the answer. D. Beta testing is a feature meant for testers to check out the user experience. It doesn't give administrative access to the developer console. Next up, an Amazon Alexa skill fetches data for users from a third-party API. Now, the wait for the response from that call is variable, often taking up to 5 seconds. So, what's the recommended way to tell users that a skill is busy working on the request and hasn't just failed to respond? The right pick is B. For operations that take longer than 1 to 2 seconds, the Alexa Skill Builder documentation recommends using the Progressive Response API. All right, let's see how you do with this one. So, an Alexa Skill Builder made a custom skill all about basketball and includes a how to play basketball intent. But when they check the intent history in the developer console, they notice a bunch of users are actually asking the skill how to play baseball. The builder wants to add a good response that points the user back to the topic of basketball. How should they go about doing that? You should pick the Amazon.fallback intent is designed to capture user inputs that don't map to any other intent in your skill. Okay, let's tackle this. So, an Alexa skill builder is using something called session attributes to keep track of where a user is. What can the builder do to make sure that a user's progress isn't lost if they take too long to answer a question and the skill just, quits? The answer is B. So, session attributes are short-lived and directly connected to how long the active session lasts. Next up, a travel booking skill has a slot elicitation for from city, to city, and travel date inside of a dialog. After going live, the skill is getting negative reviews stating that the skill doesn't understand city names when customers try to book travel. The Alexa Skill Builder adds Amazon.fallback intent to the interaction model with the goal of providing better messaging for out-of-domain utterances. Why will adding Amazon.fallback intent fail to fix the customer issue? The best choice is A. So, the Amazon.fallback intent is designed to handle things people say that don't match any other intent in the interaction model. Next up, an Alexa skill builder wants a skill to tell users how many times they've launched it. What's the best way for the builder to keep track of this information? The right choice is B. To track information across different sessions for a specific user, the skill builder must use persistent attributes. Here's a good one. So, an Alexa skill builder is developing a skill that needs to send an initial welcome email to each new user. What combination of features would the builder use to make this happen? Choose 2. The correct answer is C and E. To send a welcome email only to new users, the skill must first identify if the user has visited before using data persistence, like DynamoDB. Okay, let's tackle this. An Alexa skill builder is using Amazon S3 to stream large amounts of static audio and video content worldwide with an Amazon Alexa skill. Which other AWS service will help the builder reduce latency and boost the reliability of the streaming media content for that global audience? The answer is D. So, Amazon CloudFront is the right service for getting static audio and video content out to everyone globally. So, take a look at this. An Alexa skill builder needs to know what was said to the user before, right? That way, they can understand what the user is saying now. How can the builder actually do that? The correct selection is B. So, in Alexa skill development, the state of the conversation, like which prompt was last spoken, has to be stored by the developer. So, consider this scenario. What are the prerequisites for implementing account linking for Amazon Alexa smart home skills? I'm going with B. For smart home skills, the developer needs to implement OAuth 2, specifically using the authorization code grant flow. So, take a look at this. An Alexa skill builder is developing a skill that lets users buy train tickets. The builder wants to give users the ability to change the departure time if they made a mistake before the skill goes ahead and buys the tickets. Which option should be used to implement this functionality within the session? Going with C. Using Amazon.cancel intent is the right way to let a user back out of an action. Now, consider this. An Alexa skill builder built a skill using AWS Lambda. The Lambda function works when running the code on a local machine with a runtime of 4.5 seconds, but during skill testing, the builder receives an error response. Which collection of steps will address the issue? Choose 2. The correct selection is B and D. AWS Lambda functions have a default timeout of 3 seconds. Now, consider this. An Alexa skill builder wants to name a skill using a company's branded acronym and AT systems. Which invocation name is valid? I'd go with C. Invocation names can only have lowercase letters, spaces, and periods. Okay, let's move on. Imagine an Alexa skill builder creating an interactive storytelling skill where you get to pick your own path through the story. This builder wants Amazon Alexa to tell the story, but also wants to use unique audio for each character's dialogue, plus different sound effects. So, how can all of that be done? So, the right answer is C. If you want to put in custom character voices and sound effects, but still keep things interactive for the user, just use the SSML audio tag. Here's the next one. An Alexa skill builder is curious about getting insights on users who come back to their skill. What analytics tool in the developer console would show them that information? Here's the answer. D. The retention analytics page in the Alexa developer console lets developers keep an eye on the percentage of users who come back to the skill across different time periods, like day 1, day 7, day 30. Next up, on Amazon Alexa-enabled devices with a screen, which of the following standard built-in intents are handled by Alexa on the skill's behalf and are not forwarded to the skill? Choose 3. So, we're going with B, C, and F. On devices with screens, Alexa actually takes care of some built-in things automatically, like Amazon.more intent, Amazon.scroll down intent, and Amazon.navigate home intent. Okay, so let's move on. An Alexa skill builder is getting feedback from users that a specific thing they say makes Amazon Alexa trigger the skill's Amazon.help intent instead of going to the right intent and slot. How can the builder try to make that happen again so they can fix the problem? The answer is D. To troubleshoot NLU misinterpretation, a developer needs to use the Alexa simulator. Try this question. So, during testing of a new Amazon Alexa skill, the skill is repeatedly failing, and invoking the function defined in the adder/or handler method specified on the skill builder object. Upon inspection of Amazon CloudWatch logs, the Alexa skill builder establishes that the failure is occurring whenever Amazon.help intent is being received. How should this error be corrected? The answer is B. So, in the Alexa Skills Kit, ask SDK, the skills lifecycle. It really depends on request handlers. These handlers figure out if they can actually deal with a specific incoming request. That's through the ICanHandleA method. And then, how to respond. That's using the IHandleA method. Hey, take a look at this. An Amazon Alexa trip planner skill has a bunch of intents and slots. So, one of the intents is plan my trip intent, and some of the slots are from city, to-city, depart date, and return date. Here's a sample conversation. User, ask plan. My trip to start a new trip leaving from Seattle. Alexa, you said you were leaving from Seattle, right? User, yes. Alexa, I've saved your trip. Do you want to create another trip? User, yes. What will be invoked upon the user's final yes? I would go with C. In an Alexa skill, standard conversational responses like yes are handled by built-in intents, Amazon.yes intent and Amazon no intent. Consider this scenario. An Alexa skill builder wants to implement in-skill purchasing to offer one-time purchases for access to premium content. The builder created an entitlement product and deployed it successfully using the AXS-C01 tool. When testing the custom buy in-skill product intent in the developer console, the builder receives the following error. Sorry, this product is not available with your current language setting. How can this error be fixed? Here's the answer. B. When testing in-skill products, ISP, the locale you pick in the Alexa developer console test simulation, needs to match the locales where you've set up and enabled that in-skill product. Okay, so let's try to figure this out. An Alexa skill builder made some changes to an AWS Lambda function that's used for a skill's endpoint. Now, the builder found that the skill gives an error when they launch it. How can they use the Lambda console to, trigger the function and debug the code? The right pick is A. To debug a Lambda function that's hosting an Alexa skill, you must simulate the incoming Alexa request. Let's see how you do with this. An Alexa skill builder has created a taxi hiring skill. The skill needs to find out when the customer wants a taxi, where the customer is traveling from, and where the customer wants to go. The builder is currently asking each question individually in the following order. Where do you want to take a taxi from? Where do you want to take a taxi to? When do you need a taxi? To ensure the voice interaction is flexible, how should this information be gathered, regardless of the order in which the user provides it? So, going with D, the dialog.delegate directive basically lets Alexa automatically handle the dialog management. I hope you found the questions helpful. Do comment. How many did you get right? Also, don't forget to check out passorefund.io because we are confident on our content and give you a refund if you don't pass on your first attempt.